If there were ever a fighter jet that sounded like it belonged in a Marvel movie and could casually violate the laws of gravity, it's the Lockheed Martin X-44 Manta. This aircraft isn't just high-tech, it's borderline science fiction with wings. Designed to disappear from radar, dance around enemy defenses, and fly in ways that make physics majors cry, the X-44 is redefining air superiority. But what makes this airborne beast so intimidating? And why are nations like Russia and China nervously biting their nails? Let's dive into the stealthy, high-speed, anti-gravity world of the X-44 Manta, a warplane so advanced, it probably tucks itself in at night with quantum blankets. The jet that has global superpowers sweating. At first glance, the X-44 Manta might seem like just another entry in America's long line of super-secret military aircraft. But don't be fooled. This is no ordinary stealth jet, it's a flying revolution. Using next-gen propulsion and mind-bending maneuverability, it rewrites the entire rulebook of aerial combat. Countries like Russia and China, who've spent years fine-tuning their air defense systems, now face a problem. Those systems weren't built to handle something that behaves more like a UFO than a jet. The Manta isn't just fast, it's unpredictable. With anti-gravitational thrust and a tailless design, it doesn't fly like anything that's come before it. If traditional jets are athletes running a track, the Manta is teleporting through it wearing invisibility cloaks and making sarcastic comments along the way. Anti-gravity propulsion. The jet that shrugged at aerodynamics. Most aircraft are built to work with the forces of physics: lift, drag, thrust, gravity. The X-44? It seems to have signed a separate contract with reality. With its anti-gravitational propulsion system, yes, that's a thing now, the Manta can slip into spaces normal planes wouldn't even consider. Think of it like this. Regular jets are swimmers doing laps on the surface of a pool. The Manta is a high-tech submarine gliding underneath, unfazed by traditional rules of engagement. It's a complete shift in mobility. Old-school jets rely on tails and flaps to steer flaps, people. That's like using a garden hose to move a yacht. The X-44 said, no thanks, and opted for thrust vectoring, adjusting its engine direction to zip around like a caffeinated drone on Red Bull. Bye-bye tail fins, designed from the future. Here's the wild part: this jet has no tail. That's right. No vertical stabilizers. No horizontal ones. No aerodynamic crutches. It's basically a stealthy flying Dorito. If Doritos were made of titanium, classified secrets, and laser-guided death. Based on the F-22 Raptor's design, the X-44 took things further by removing everything unnecessary, like tails, and stretching the wings into a triangular shape optimized for speed and stealth. Instead of wiggling control surfaces like a nervous squirrel, the Manta shifts its engine's thrust direction to turn, climb, or dive. It's an idea born from the late 90s, when NASA and the US Air Force wanted to experiment with a tailless fighter. They called it the Multi-Axis No-Tail Aircraft, or Manta. Spoiler alert, they weren't kidding about the no-tail part. A project too advanced for its time. The X-44 program was greenlit in 1999, back when flip phones were cutting edge and the world was just discovering that Y2K was a false alarm. The dream? To create a fighter jet so advanced it would make everything else obsolete. Sadly, the budget was about as thin as the Manta's radar signature. By 2000, the funding dried up. But like any good legend, the Manta refused to die quietly. Instead, its innovations were absorbed into future projects like the F-22 and the stealthier-than-thou FB-22. Ideas like thrust vectoring, no tail fins, and ultra-low radar visibility became staples of next-gen jet design. So even if the Manta didn't take off then, its spirit and its tech definitely did. How stealthy? Think shadow of a marble. Let's talk radar. You know how older stealth planes use fancy radar-absorbing paint? The X-44 doesn't need to dress up to avoid being seen, it just bends radar waves like a ninja doing yoga. With a combination of sleek geometry, internal weapon storage, and a unique coating known as parallax, the Manta can vanish off radar screens. From certain angles, it has the radar profile of a steel marble. Yes, a marble. Good luck tracking that 1,740 miles per hour. Oh, and if it ever needs to be visible, it can deploy a radar reflector. That's like Superman putting on a fake mustache to blend in. Heads-up displays and pigeon vision. Imagine flying a jet that requires you to channel your inner pigeon. Sounds weird, right? But that's kind of how the X-44's depth perception system works. Using wiggle stereoscopy, the cockpit's heads-up display creates a 3D effect by slightly shifting as the pilot moves their head, similar to how birds bob to perceive depth. This trick lets the pilot instantly gauge distances without looking away from the screen, making targeting faster and more accurate. It's a simple idea wrapped in sophisticated execution, like giving the Terminator a pair of pigeon eyes. Real or rumor? The Pentagon leaks the truth. For years, the X-44 was considered little more than a military myth and aviation Bigfoot whispered about in hangars. But recent Pentagon leaks and mysterious sightings confirm it's not just real, but operational. And not just operational, it's equipped with hypersonic missiles, precision bombs, and enough speed to turn air defense systems into overpriced lawn ornaments. Its hypersonic missiles, allegedly accurate to within 16 feet, fly at nearly 2,850 miles per hour, too fast for most systems to even blink. And that's before we talk about its advanced flight control, internal fuel tanks, and tailhook landing capability. Propulsion that's more smart than fast. Behind the scenes, the Manta runs on a pair of turbofans, likely Pratt & Whitney, each capable of generating 35,000 pounds of thrust with afterburners. It uses rectangular nozzles that tilt 20 degrees to steer, and these coordinate with the onboard computers for ultra-precise movements. At normal weight, the power-to-weight ratio is nearly 1-to-1, basically a rocket disguised as a jet. It also carries a whopping 26,000 pounds of fuel, with external tanks, and can be refueled mid-air. So not only is it fast and stealthy, it can keep going like a caffeinated cheetah with a gas card. Defense mode. Activated. If something does manage to track the Manta, good luck with that. It's not going down without a fight. The jet's onboard defense system includes 6 sensors scanning 360 degrees for heat signatures. If it detects an incoming missile, it automatically suggests or deploys flares, radar jamming chaff, or invasive maneuvers. Think of it as a really aggressive Alexa, but instead of playing Taylor Swift, it dodges heat-seeking missiles. Talking jet to jet silently to maintain stealth, the X-44 doesn't broadcast its position with traditional radio chatter. It uses a direct data link to communicate securely and quietly with other friendly aircraft. It only speaks when spoken to, and even then, it whispers in code. That means its communication system is like a secretive spy. All business, zero noise. The size of a monster, the grace of a swan. Physically, the Manta is huge. It's over 62 feet long, nearly 45 feet wide, and has a wing area of 840 square feet. But don't let its size fool you, it's built for elegance at high speeds. Its shape follows the area rule, meaning most of its bulk is concentrated before the wings to reduce drag during supersonic flight. Weapons, stored internally. Landing gear, retractable. Durability, top tier thanks to innovations that reduce maintenance and eliminate the need for climate-controlled hangars. Training pilots to fly a UFO. Flying the X-44 isn't for the faint of heart. Pilots must undergo advanced simulations, physical conditioning, and what might as well be jetty training. Traditional flight school won't cut it. You need to master high-speed maneuvering, stealth tech, AI-guided systems, and radar evasion all at once. Imagine trying to learn calculus while being shot out of a cannon. That's the kind of training we're talking about. Autonomy, diplomacy, or arms race? As artificial intelligence advances, the Manta might take on more autonomous roles like reconnaissance or remote strike missions, reducing the risk to human pilots. But its very existence also raises the stakes in global military competition. The X-44 could push other nations to either race towards similar tech or start negotiating new treaties to avoid a sky full of invisible, hypersonic death machines. Your move, humanity. If you found this jet-powered journey fascinating, don't vanish like the Manta. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next supersonic scoop. Let us know in the comments. If you could fly any fighter jet in history, would you dare pilot the X-44? Fly smart, stay stealthy, and we'll see you in the next mission.